the point of intersection of these two lines is this point. Okay, this particular point here. This point is called the origin, and this is my reference point. Okay, so origin is the reference point. Okay, and this reference point we shall use to locate points on this graph, on this xy plane. This entire plane, this is called your y-axis, the straight line. From your origin, if you are moving towards this line, then this is your positive direction of y. This is the positive direction of y. Okay, from your origin, if you are moving towards this line, this is your positive direction of
X.
x, because this is your x-axis. So we call this straight line as your x-axis, and we call this straight line as your y-axis. Okay. Also, if you are from the point of reference, if you are moving towards this line, okay, this is the negative direction of x-axis and is denoted by x dashed. Negative direction of x. Okay, and from the origin, from this point, if you are moving towards this line, then this line, then this direction is the y dash direction, or the negative direction of y. This is the negative direction of y. Of y. Okay, so this direction is the positive direction of x. This direction is the negative direction of x. This direction is the positive direction of y, and this direction is your negative direction of y. Okay. So let's just label this once again. This is my y. This is my x. This is x dashed, and this is my y dashed. Okay, and this point here is my origin, point of reference. As I told you, this entire line is called the y-axis,
Y-axis.
and this entire line is called the x-axis. Okay, and as I told you, positive direction of x, remember this, very important. Negative direction of x, positive direction of y, and the negative direction of y. Okay, so fine. Now we come to the coordinates of a point. What do you mean by coordinates of a point? In order to locate any particular point, in order to locate any particular point, in order to locate any particular point on this graph paper, we use something called as the ordered pair of numbers. A, B, or let's say X, Y. X, Y. Okay, this is called an ordered pair. In this ordered pair will represent a point on any point on this graph paper, any point on this XY plane. Okay, this ordered pair will represent. Now, what does it represent? How does it represent? But before going to how does it represent, remember a very important definition. So if you have an ordered pair X, Y representing a point on the XY plane, this X is called the X coordinate of the point, Let us call this point P. This is called the x coordinate of P, also called as the abscissa. Also called as the abscissa. Okay. This y is called the y coordinate of P. This is called the y coordinate of P.
Good morning, sir.
Morning. This is called the y coordinate of P, also called as the ordinate of P. Okay. So given any ordered pair, remember these two terms. This is called the abscissa, and this is called the ordinate. Ordinate and abscissa of what? The point P. Okay. So this is what your definition of abscissa and ordinate is. Now we come to the okay, now what we see here is how to locate any particular point. How to locate any particular point. Suppose I give you an ordered pair like this, 4, 3. I give you this ordered pair of numbers, 4, 3. Let us call this point P. I want to locate this point on this XY plane. Now, if you see this, what is the sign of this abscissa? What is the sign? It is +4, right? And what is the sign here? +3. So what we do here is, from the origin, since this abscissa or the x coordinate, this abscissa is equal to +4. +4. This abscissa is equal to +4. What you do here is, from the origin, you start moving towards the positive direction of x. Why the positive direction of x? Because this is your x coordinate and this is your plus sign. So you start moving towards the positive direction of x. And what is the distance that you move? You will move 4 units. So you count 1, 2, 3, and 4. So you stop here at 4. Okay, because this is 4. Now you see the y coordinate or the ordinate. The ordinate here is +3. Okay. Now what you do, once you stop here at 4, now you start moving towards the positive direction of y. Why the positive direction of y? Because you see it is a plus sign here. Okay, because this ordinate is positive. So that is why you start moving towards the positive direction of y. And how many units you move? You move 3 units. So from we are stopped here. Now from here we start once again. 1 unit, 2 unit, 3 units. So this is your 1 unit, 2 unit, and this is your 3 unit. So we stop here. So this point will be your P +4 and +3. Any questions here? I'll give you more examples, but is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Let us take
Yes, sir.
another point. Let us
Yes, sir.
take a point, say Q. Say let us take this point as -5, say 2, -5, 2. Okay. Now what you see here is the abscissa here is -5. The abscissa here is -5. And which this one is my x coordinate abscissa. So, and also we see that this is negative. So what you do is that you start moving towards the negative direction of x, because the sign of 5 is negative. And how many distance, what is the distance you move? You move 5 units. So you have 1 unit, 2 unit, 3 unit, 4 unit, 5 unit. Okay, and you stop here at 5 units. Now you look at the ordinate or the y coordinate. What is the ordinate here? The ordinate here is +2. So the plus sign, Plus sign means you move in the positive direction of y. That means now we shall start moving in this direction. And where should we start? We will start from the point where we stopped. We stopped at this -5. And what is the distance you move? You move 2 units. So you move 2 units. 1 unit, 2 units. So this is my point Q -5, 2. Okay. Any question here?
No, sir.
No.
Let us
No,
take
sir.
another point, say R. R we take as say -3 and -2. Let us take -3 and -2. Okay. So what do we have to do here? Let me just erase this. Now, in order to locate your point R, you see that the abscissa here is, or the x coordinate here is -3. That is 3 with a negative sign. That means abscissa is -3 means you have to move in the negative direction of x. That means you are moving in the negative direction of x. And how much distance you have to move? You have to move 3 units. So 1, 2, 3 units we move. Okay, and we stop here. Now we look at the y coordinate or the ordinate. The ordinate here is, I should take -2. Okay, ordinate is -2. Okay, so you see clearly the ordinate is negative, or the y coordinate is negative. So that means we have to move from the origin, we have to move in the negative direction of y. And how many units you have to move? You have to move only 2 units of distance. Okay, and where do we start? We start from the point where we stopped. We stopped here, we move 2
Sir,
units.
that means from -3.
Which one? Yes, from -3. From this point we are moving. Okay, so from
Yes, sir.
-3 we move 2 units. So 1 unit and you have 2 units. So this is your point R. -3, -2. Okay, and let us take a point S. Say I take a point this as 5, -1. Now what happens? You see that the abscissa here is +5. The abscissa here is +5, which means that we have to move in the positive direction of x. This is my x-axis. We have to move from the origin in the positive direction of x. And what is the distance you have to move? You have to move 5 units. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we stop here. Okay, after moving 5 units. Now we look at the y coordinate or the ordinate. The ordinate here is -1. So because of the negative sign, we'll move from the origin in the negative direction of y this time. And how much distance we have to move? We have to move 1 unit. So from the origin, and where did we stop? We stopped at this -5 here, right? So from this -5, we move only 1 unit here. Okay, so this is my point S, which is 5 and -1. So what do you observe? What do you observe? You observe this is called the quadrant 1 or the first quadrant. This is called the quadrant 1. In this quadrant, what you see is that x is positive and y is also positive, right? This is called my quadrant 2. Okay, we go anti-clockwise. Okay, we start from this and we go anti-clockwise. This is called your quadrant 3. Okay, and this is called your quadrant 4. Okay. So in quadrant 1, we saw that X was positive and Y was also positive. In quadrant 2, what we see is that X is negative, but Y is positive. Right? In quadrant 3, what you see is X is negative and Y is also negative. In quadrant 4, you see that X is positive and Y is negative. Okay, this is the observation that you must make. These are called the quadrants. Okay, and in the first quadrant, we have X and Y both positive. In second quadrant, we have X negative and Y positive. In the third quadrant, we have X negative, Y negative also, both negative. And in the fourth quadrant, you have X positive and Y negative. Why is this so? Because in quadrant 1, in order to locate a point in this quadrant, in this particular quadrant, this is called a quadrant. Okay, in order to locate a point in this quadrant, we must move in the positive direction of X and then in the positive direction of Y. So therefore X is positive and Y is positive. Similarly, if you look at this quadrant, quadrant 2, here we need to move in the negative direction of X. That is why X is negative. And we need to move in the positive direction of Y. That is why Y is positive. In a third quadrant, if you see, this is your third quadrant. Okay. In the third quadrant, if you see, you are moving in the negative direction of X. So therefore, X is negative. And you're also moving in the negative direction of Y from the origin. Okay. So Y is also negative. Similarly, for quadrant 4, we are moving in the positive direction of X here. And we are moving in the negative direction of Y. So therefore, X is positive and Y is negative. Any question till this point?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Now, what you must also know is that if I am talking about a point on the XY plane or on the X and the Y axis, okay, I am representing it with the help of an ordered pair. So example, if I want to locate a point, say 5, 3, then what will I do? 5 units in the X direction because it is positive. You have a plus 5 and then 3 units in this direction, plus 3. So this is your plus 3 units. And this is your plus 5 units. I'm locating this point. Let us call this point P. P5, 3. P is also called, here P is called, or in fact 5, 3, not P. 5, 3 is called, 5, 3 is called the coordinate of P. Or rectangular Cartesian coordinates of P. Rectangular Cartesian coordinates of P. Okay, rectangular Cartesian coordinates of P or simply coordinates of P. Okay, so this is what your concept of quadrant is, and this is what your concept of this is. Now, before moving on to the problems, there is another thing that you must know. What you must know here is that suppose if I want to locate a point, let's see with the help of an example here. Let us see, I want to locate this point 5, 0. Let us call this point P. How will I locate this point? From the origin, my abscissa here is plus 5. So I'll move in the positive direction of X. Okay, how many units? 5 units. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I stop here. Now I look at the ordinate or the Y coordinate. Y coordinate here is 0. So I don't have to move anywhere. Then since the distance is 0, so I stay at 5. So this becomes my point P5, 0. So very important observation here is that we shall be using later on also, that any point on the x-axis, this is your x-axis, any point on the x-axis will always have the y coordinate 0. So if I give you a point, say -3, let's let me give you a point -3, 0, another point. Then how will you locate this point? From the origin, since the sign is negative, of the stop chatting. From the origin, you have to locate, you have to move in the negative direction of x, because you have a minus sign with a 3. And how many units you have to move? You have to move 3 units. So 1, 2, 3. So I've reached here. And after reaching 3, how much distance you have to move? You have to move 0 distance. That means you don't have to go anywhere. This is my point Q. -3, 0. What you see here is that any point that you take on this line, any point that you take will always be of the form x1, 0, or you can say x0, whatever. Okay, any point that you take on this line will always have the y coordinate 0. Very, very important observation. Similarly, let us take another example of a point R. Let us say I take this as 0 and 6. Let us locate this point. So clearly here, the abscissa here is 0. Okay, so from the origin, I stay at the origin. From here, I don't move anywhere because this is my 0. Okay, I cannot move in the positive direction of x. I cannot move in the negative direction of x. So I stay here. Now I look at the y coordinate or the ordinate. Ordinate here is +6. That means we have to now move in the positive direction of y from this point, the origin. And how much distance we have to move? We have to move 6 units. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I reach here. So this is my point R0, 6. Any question?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Say I take another point S0 -8. Okay. Now what do you have to do? So if you see here, the x coordinate is 0 or the abscissa is 0. So you stay here again at the origin. Okay. Now you look at the y coordinate or the ordinate. The ordinate here is 8 with a negative sign. Negative sign means we have to move from the origin, the point where we started. We have to move in the negative direction of y because of this negative sign. And how much distance we have to move? We have to move 8 units. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we stop here at this point, and this point will be my S0 -8. So another important observation is that any point on this line, on this y-axis, any point on this line will have its y coordinate, the x coordinate 0. See here, we are having the x coordinate 0 or the abscissa 0. And here also the abscissa is 0. So therefore, any point on the y-axis can be represented by 0, y or 0, y1. So if I give you this point, even if you don't know the value of y, if I give you this point 0y, then because you see the x coordinate to be 0, you can say that the point has to be on the y-axis, somewhere on the y-axis. Okay. Similarly, if I give you a point x, 0, even if you don't know the value of x, you know that the y coordinate is 0. That means this point has to lie somewhere on this line, on the x-axis. Okay. Now this is a very important concept which you must remember. So if you have any question, you can ask here. No question? So remember, any coordinate on the x-axis can be taken as x, 0 or x1, 0, and any coordinate on the y-axis can be taken as 0, y, where the x coordinate is 0. Okay, and that is what I have mentioned here. This is a very important note. Okay. So with this idea, we now move on to another very important concept, which is called the scale. The scale also I have discussed with you, but not in terms of coordinate geometry, but when we were doing your bar graphs and all, we have discussed the scale. Now here also, this is the concept of scale. Now what is the concept of scale? Now say this is the 2 mm graph. Okay, what does the 2 mm graph mean? The 2 mm graph means that each small square that we have here, each of these small squares has each side equal to 2 mm. Okay, so that means, what is this distance? What is this distance? If each square is 2 mm, and how many squares we are taking here? We are taking 5 squares, isn't it? So what is this length? 2 mm, length of 1
10 mm.
into 5, which is 10 mm, and 10 mm is what? 1 centimeter, right? So when we are taking this kind of a length, when we are taking 5 squares as 1 unit, see, each of the squares we have taken 5 squares, 5 squares, 5 squares. Even in the y-axis, we have taken 5 squares. In this case, we write the scale of this graph as 1 centimeter is equal to 1 unit. Okay. Another type of scale that you have will have this kind of will look like this. Another kind of this the scale will look like this, where I have taken how many squares here? I have taken 10 squares. 10 squares. From 2 to 3, 10 squares. 3 to 4, 10 squares. So what is this length? From 0 to 1, each square has side 2 mm. And how many squares have I taken? 10 squares. So this is 20 millimeter. And you know 20 millimeter is 2 centimeter. So each of this length is how much? 2 centimeter. Right? Each of this length. So my scale here would be 2 centimeter is equal to 1 unit. Any question with the scale?
No, sir.
No question, sir.
No, sir.
Now, the scale that you will take will depend on your question. If the question has very large coordinates, suppose you have a question like locate the point 8, 6. Suppose you want to locate the point 8, 6 on this graph. Can you locate? You cannot, because you have till 4 here. And what is the x coordinate here? 8. So actually you have to move out of the graph paper to locate 8, which you cannot do. Similarly, you have a 6 here. In the y-axis, you have only till 4 in both directions. In order to locate 6, again you will have to move out of the graph paper, isn't it? So scale that we take will depend on our question. What kind of numbers are there? We'll see, and then we'll take the scale. 8, 6 you cannot locate in a 2 centimeter is equal to 1 unit graph paper, but definitely you can locate here. In a 1 centimeter is equal to 1 unit graph paper, you can locate 8, 6. How do you locate 8, 6? You move 8 units here. Okay, stop here. And then you move 6 units here. Okay, so this is your point 8, 6. So you were able to locate 1 centimeter is equal to 1 unit on this, but you were not able to locate 8, 6 on this graph paper. Okay, so that is why, depending on the coordinates, we'll take our scale. Sometimes the scale is given. Otherwise, if the scale is not given, we'll see the coordinates and then we'll use our good judgment to take the scale. Okay, so let us do one question before I yes, let us do one question from here. Yes, look at this question. 1,4. Find the coordinates of the points whose ordinate is 5 and abscissa is -2. So abscissa is -2. Ordinate is given to be +5. So what is the coordinate of this point? Abscissa, comma, ordinate. So the coordinates of this point is -2, 5. Nothing to do on the graph. You simply have to write the coordinates. Okay. Let us see the next question. You can see, you can do all the questions in this way. Suppose this, whose ordinate is 3/2 and lies on the y-axis. Let us look at this. This is a variant of the question. Find the coordinates of the points whose ordinate is 3/2 and lies on the y-axis. So ordinate here is 3/2. Okay. Ordinate means which part? Ordinate means your y part. We don't know about the x part. Okay. Now the next information is given. It lies on the y-axis. You know that any point on the y-axis will have the x coordinate 0. So this is the coordinate of the point. Any question?
Sir, no question.
Fine. Then we move to the next question. I have 4 minutes left, so I think I'll be able to do this. Number 3. Okay, this you need to even this, for this you don't need graph paper also. Which of the following points lie on the x-axis and the y-axis? Okay, first point is A 0 2. Can you tell me which where it lies in the x coordinate or the in the x-axis or the y-axis? Can anyone tell me? You see that the x coordinate is 0, so therefore it has to lie on the y-axis. Clear? Next question. B5 6. Neither x coordinate nor the y coordinate is 0, so it neither lies on the x-axis, neither lies on the x-axis nor the y-axis, nor the y-axis. Okay. Next point is 23 0. So in which axis it lies? You
X.
see,
X
yes,
axis.
because the y
So
coordinate
X.
is 0, therefore you see it lies on the
X.
x-axis. Next, D03. Let's see, D023. Which axis it lies?
Y.
You see that, yes,
Y.
you see that the y coordinate is 0, so it lies on the y-axis. Next one, E0 minus 4. Again, what can you say?
Y axis.
The x coordinate is 0, so it lies on the y-axis.
Y-axis.
Next is F minus 6 0. Where does it lie?
Sir, Y-axis.
X.
Y-axis. The
X.
y coordinate is 0, so therefore it lies on the
X.
and G. Finally, you have G √3 0. Where does it lie? The y coordinate is 0 or the ordinate is 0, therefore it lies on the
X.
okay.
X axis.
So that is what, and